Hello. In this series, we are going to learn how to migrate SQL Server database to Amazon Web Service, AWS. So you will sign in to Amazon, sign in to aws.amazon.com, and you will select the root user. You select your email address as your root user email address. You will click on next. Then you will type the security check there, YFZ4CF. Press enter, press your password in, and now you are logged on. To start, you need to find the storage. I already have one storage here called S3, but I didn't sign in. So in case you don't have one, you can just type on the search button S3 and you press enter. You see the services here. The S3 is a scalable storage in the cloud. The top features are the buckets, access point, storage lens dashboard, and the batch operation. So right now we double click on it. We are going to create the buckets. So we click on it, see where it said create a bucket. Every object in the S3 is stored in a bucket. To upload the files and files to the S3, you will need to create a bucket where the object will be stored. So we click on S. The name of the bucket we are going to put in SQL Server Database. Click DB. And now the default region is Ohio. I think we are closest to Virginia East. So we'll pick Virginia so that way it be faster connection. So we hit here, copy setting from existing bucket is optional. So we don't have to copy anything. You scroll down, object ownership, ACL disable recommended, object ownership, bucket owner enforce, ACL enable. Keep going down, all buckets public access. Bucket versioning is disabled. And the tab, go down. You can create the buckets with the default setting. All right, hit create a bucket. So the bucket name must contain uppercase characters. So to use uppercase, just use all uppercase. QL server to DB. We change that to all uppercase. See where that will fly. SQL. The bucket name must not contain uppercase character. Make it all lowercase then. SQL server DB database. Oh, so DB. Bucket with the same name already exists. So this is a database testing. Database testing. And we go ahead and do create. Alright, we have created buckets. Stop right. You click on SQL Server DB testing, upload backup.
And I'll be browsing for the
We will need to activate the RDS so that we can bring up the database backup that we had. So we are doing the RDS now. We are going to create a RDS database. In this case, I'm gonna click on create database and standard create easy create. We're gonna use the standard create, and then the standard create we are using engine option my SQL protege. We are looking for Microsoft. Another one for Oracle. So we select a Microsoft RDS, Relational Database Services of Amazon. It's going to be SQL Server Express, and that is the one there. Let's say we use a standard edition. Core management intelligent capability, license included. And the template we're using is a production template. The settings is already database 1. And then credentials is an admin. Manage master credentials in management, disable auto-generate password. No, we just don't want an auto-generate password. Master password is going to be Amazon Web Services 2023. Amazon Web Services 2023. Yes, we got the password as Amazon Web Services 2023 with the uppercase alias. Allocated storage is 20. Provision is 1000 iPhone. Storage auto scaling. Availability is mirroring always on. Connectivity, don't connect to EC2. Default VPC private virtual private cloud is what we're using. Public access, yes. We got enable public access. And then we will look at the virtual private cloud security group. Choosing existing, we would use choosing existing. Choose existing VP security groups. Existing VP security group option. Create new. We don't have any. Well, it's the default. Use the default one. Create ADS proxy. Certificate authority. Enter Microsoft Windows authentication. We can use that. Safe manage. Monitoring turn on performance insights. 7 days free. And then we go to the end and hit create database. Master auto-generate password. The master password is invalid. At least 8. W, okay. AMAZON. Amazon Web Services 2023. Amazon Web Services 2023. At least 8 principal. Oh. Cannot contain the ampersand. Oh, 2023. Amazon CTC 617 CTC 617 The password cannot include. You cannot change the game after enabling performance inside. Okay. Choose a directory. Browse. Directory field is required. Browse directory. Okay, directory had to be created. Let's see how that works. We are going to use Submission Microsoft Active Directory. Okay, hit next. And then we are going to use standard edition. Directory net BIOS name, Amazon. Directory is Microsoft. Description is Microsoft. This is SQL server database. Wow, database. Testing. The admin 44 I mentioned I use admin. Admin password. I use CTC 673 CTC 673 Next. Fishing character cannot contain space. Do I exceed 15 character? SQL Server data. DNS must contain two characters, suitable characters. DNS is going to be SQL Server, SQL Server, SQL Server, SQL Server DBS. We use sql-server-net.com. We are going to create new PC. We can have virtual private connection, subnets, no preference, create new subnets. Hit next. Alright, the AD is created. It's about $86 per month and it's 12 cents per hour. We create a directory. Alright, directory ID sql-server.com, and then we can stop there. Okay, now we are going to create our database. So we will select standard, create. We will select SQL server. We will select Amazon Relational Database System. We will select SQL Server Standard Edition. And I will say likely. And we use a standard edition. The license is included. It's a production. It's a database one. Credential is the admin. The password is a CTC. And standard classes is the instant configuration. And then we have the network 10,000 megabit per second. The storage is SSD. And the location is 20 gigabits. And the provision is 1000 IOPS. Storage auto scaling is allowed. Multi-AC deployment is yes, mirroring. Connectivity is connect to the EC compute resource. Set up a connection to EC compute resource for this database. Don't set up connection to a compute resource for this database. You can manually set up a connection to a compute resource later. Let's do it now. And then the EC standard, let's choose one. Is there any EC standard here? If it's not available, we have to create one. EC2 instead. EC2 instead. This is to connect your USB to EC computer, so first create the EC instance. Create an EC instance. And the name, launch an instance, the name is SQL server. So then we are using launch the instance. Application OS image, machine image. And we are using the quick start. Amazon is what we're using. Verify the provider, AMD. Go down, down, down. Allow sheet traffic. Allow HTTP traffic from the internet. Configuration. Create the instance. Create key pair. The key pair that we see right here. Create a key pair. Proceed without a key pair. Key pairs allows you to connect to your instance securely. Key pair name is SQL server. Key pair name. Proceed with that key pair name. We'll go with that now. Now let's launch. We have created for one. We are launching the instance right now without the key pair name. We can do that later. Next steps. What would you like? Okay, after we've done that, view all the instances. We view it. Now we have a SQL server with the L in there. We're gonna fix this name. SQL. It's an L. SQL. Save that name. SQL.
What's cool?
Hey, Dean, but have fun.
Take care.
All right.
Cruise
control. Yeah. Did you order any part?
Yeah, I ordered.
When they're coming?
Tuesday.
Did you say deliver in 7 business days or cancel?
Well, I didn't put that. But
you always put that,
yeah,
just in case.
Yeah, it's had shipping though. It said 2 to 3 days.
I know, but you gotta put that because it might delay. All right.
So you going to work or school on Saturday?
Right. I think we have launch instances. We are now launching the instance. Boom. These are the instance and the instance launch instance. The instance name. We launch the instance. They keep asking for this. Create a key pair. Create key pair. Key pair name is SQL server. Okay. Initial SQL server initial. Alright. Oh, this is something to. No, I don't know. Keep it locking. Alright, so far we have the instance. We have the key pair created. Just to be sure. So you go back to your, see where this is.
Your database.
At this point, we had to click on files and we have clicked on upload, and we went to upload the SQL database that we had backed up. The SQL database that we backed up was called the AdventureWorks 2012, and the backup is running at the 72% at this time, and in a few minutes it will be successful. The destination that is being uploaded to is the storage, Amazon storage number 3. That is where the backup is going. So far the files, it's about 198.1 MBA. As you can see, the upload status is successful. If you notice 100% is successful, the file is 198.1 megabytes. Nothing is failed. And if you notice, AdventureWork 2012.ba is available. The status successful. Error, no error. By default, we cannot do a restore without configuring the action group, because the restore option is not activated by default. So we have to go and create the action group. The backup and restore feature that is not enabled by default would, by using the action group, we will be able to configure the restore so that we'll be able to restore it to the on-cloud database. And this time we're also going to configure a role that would allow the RDS to communicate with the storage S3. At this point, we are creating a database. So we create a standard create, click on RDS, click on create database, create standard create, and there are options for database engines. We have MySQL, we have a Progress SQL, Postgre SQL, we have MySQL regular standard instead of the Aurora. We also have the MariaDB. We also have the PostgreSQL. We also have the Oracle. But for today, we will be using the Microsoft SQL Server. So we pick AMS RDS, and we will pick the standard edition, and the license is included. We will use the development and the test settings. Database name is going to be DB1. Credentials are going to be admin. And the password is some GTC. And the DBS instant class is a standard class, include M in classes. And then we have the 4 CPU to be used and a 16 gig RAM, include previous generation classes. And then we have the storage. We are using this SSD, general purpose SSD. And we can go down availability. Yes, mirroring always on. No availability for now. Connectivity. We can connect to EC2. Don't connect for now. And then default virtual private network. Choose existing virtual private group. Public, we can make it a public access. And then the proxy, no proxy RDS. And with Microsoft Windows Authentication. And we're using the save manage Active Directory. Okay, we'll be using the database. Windows type authentication. Okay, let's see, we can use that as well. You cannot change the KMS key, is that right? You create the database. Choose a directory. I have to create directory. Okay, let's see the choose directory here goes with the Microsoft Windows authentication. But for now, can we just use is it enable SQL Server window authentication? Save manage directory. Enable window authentication. Okay. If we don't have window authentication, Microsoft window authentication, enable Microsoft window authentication. That would be using the if we do not enable this, we have to know the server name. We create a database using the SQL, so we don't have to worry about directory. Okay, we have database 1 created. Suggested add-on for database 1, simplify the configuration add-on by using the setting from your new database. Create elastic cache using the database setting. Use a proxy. Create elastic cache cluster. Okay, now we are going to create elastic cache for database 1. On the database 1, the cluster is enable cluster mode. The name it's AdventureWorks. We're not going to create that. Click on database 1. On database 1, new master password. Process. Creating database is what's going on right now. Okay, we'll continue the configuration of the role to connect with the RDS with the storage location, the S3. Select your database, select modify, and now you go under modify, you go down to the section that says additional configuration. If you notice in the additional configuration, these are database options, the backup turn on, performance insight turn on, enhanced monitoring turn on, maintenance, cloud watch logs, or delete protection turn off. In the database option, the database parameter group and database parameter group default is being used. In the option group, the default is being used. SQL Server A stands for Standard Edition version 15. So to the left, you will find the option group. Click on option group. You want to create a new option group. Click on create a new option group. Here we are going to specify the name. Okay, so when we click on the option groups, because there is no default restore point for AWS Amazon Web Service, we're creating a new option restore group. This is restore from backup 3. The engine we are using is what? Standard edition. So you have to have a matching standard edition otherwise it would not work. So we select standard edition for the and it's version 15 that I saw the last time that we know the version for standard edition we're using. So the only thing remaining now is to create. And now we have created the option group under the create group. And here is RDS SQL restore option. Okay, the option group has been successfully created again. RDS, click on there and scroll down to add option. And the option that we are adding is the SQL backup restore action. And then we will go ahead and do the configure. At this point, we are going to create the IAM role. Just give it a name because there's none in here. So we're going to create a new one. And this new one will give us the name we are using is the RDS that is SQL Server, and the destination is already the bucket number 3. Okay, I think we have configured the add option for SQL Server Backup Restore. We created a new IAM role which we're using here called SQL Server DB Restore, and we only have one bucket called SQL Server Testing, and option is blank, and we want to do what? Schedule it? No, we are going to do it immediately. Hit add option. It's still spinning. Adding option is still going in a circle. In a few minutes, we should be done with it. All right. The option is successful created, and let's go ahead and view the option. View the option group details. Let's click on that. See right here, the RDS SQL restore is created, and the Amazon ARN. This is the actual connection string, and we have the option name. Restore backup from S3 is keys. SQL Server SE means standard edition. The major engine version is 15. And now we know that we have the role is added. The setting for the role, AMI role, ARN for the backup restore is added. And basically that's how it looks. Okay, next we are going to change the default option to the one we just created. So you go to your database, you go to your database one, and you go down to you go down to modify, you scroll down to advanced setting, advanced configuration, database group option. I have to change the option group is already there, so the database option has changed to from a default to the one that we just created. Alright, see the one we created called RDS SQL Restore, and that is how you change that. You can continue. The change, after we continue the change that we made, we are going to apply it immediately. So we're gonna continue with the apply. We went back to the database one, we scroll down to configuration. Now, okay, right now we cannot continue with the restore until we see applying under the option groups is still working. Until the applying is done, we cannot continue. So at this point, check this out. The RDS SQL restore that we have just added is being updated. So the old one is being removed, removing the old one. The new one is applying, so we had to give you some time. Yes, if you have noticed, our RDS SQL restore option has been added and the default one had been removed. So the next thing that we need to do, we will go to the database option under, we are going to our database. The database is called database 1. We're going to connectivity. We are going to copy the endpoint and we'll take it to the Microsoft SQL Studio and we will be able to connect to our on cloud. And right here you see your Microsoft Studio. We will try to connect from the Microsoft SQL Management Studio. Now, as you can see, we are able to do a Control V, and we are going to use the admin, SQL Server admin. We're using the admin connect. As you can see, it's spinning at this moment to connect. Now we'll see how long that will take. Yes, using the admin and SQL Server authentication, we are able to connect to the cloud, Amazon Web Services, AWS, and connect to our database on cloud-based database. Database 1.ca9cmc Amazon AWS.com. We are using admin and the password. Now we are connected. In a situation where you cannot connect to a database and you have an error that says AWS title connect to server cannot connect to database, then you have to do two things. First, you need to go to the network group. Go to network group where it says network group and you want to select a default network group and you want to click on the inbound rules and you want to delete the default inbound rules and create a new one that have a 00/0 IP address, and the IP address using the Microsoft SQL and the TCP and the port 1400. And now see where I add the IP address 0.0.0.0/0, and the default one has been deleted. All right, so that's how you are able to overcome the error. The next problem with the error is if the public IP or public access had not been enabled. So what you do now is you click on your surfaces. This is the dashboard for ECS, and you're looking for instances. And let's see how many instances we have here. All right, this is what I said. You got two places to check for errors when you say cannot connect to the server. You go to your console home, click on RDS, Relational Database Services, and once you go to you will see database instance 1/40. You only got one, you got an option of 40. And now you click on the database you just created and you're looking for connectivity and security because you are unable to connect, right? So you want to make sure publicly accessible is yes. And you also want to go and change your security groups. Click on the virtual PC connection security group, VPC security groups. If you click on the security group, double click it, you see the first thing is details. You want to go to the inbound rules and you want to do what they call edit inbound rules. And once you edit inbound rules, you will see a default inbound rules. You want to say add rules and add your own rules and pick the name of the rule. For what we're doing, we're using Microsoft. So you scroll down to Elm, look for Microsoft because we already have Microsoft. Okay, you already have Microsoft. Right there you go. Click on Microsoft. Make sure TCP/IP. Make sure the port is 1433 is custom. And over here you select 0, and then you will delete the first one. All right. Once you do that, it will automatically give you the security group rule ID. But that is how you fixed any connection error to the server. All right.
Hello, this time around we have been successful to connect to the Amazon cloud called Amazon Web Services. Here is the database. I have two databases here. One is called Adventure Works 2020. I had to download it and I had to migrate it from the on-premises to the cloud. Now here is the on-premises and here's the cloud. The cloud is the one that we connected to the surface in the East, United States East, rds.amazon.com, and that is the cloud. Now here is the on-premises database. I had to locally do a backup of this database and also do a restore of the database. After I backed up the database, I upload the database to the cloud. After the database has been uploaded to the cloud, now you are now able to use this command. The command said there's a stored procedure called msdb.dbo.rds that restore the database. That's a stored procedure that we use, and take notes of the scripts because you gotta watch out for the syntax. The main syntax that I have here is execute msdb.dbo.rds underscore restore underscore database. And then the add sign and the restore underscore db underscore name. Then you specify the new name that you want on the cloud database. Then you remember to say the add sign and the S for the storage space, S3, underbar ARN. The ARN means Amazon resource name, underbar to, underbar restore, underbar from. This is where I made a mistake. You kind of specify from equal sign, single quote, ARN.AWS colon S3 colon 3 times. Then the bucket name I use here is SQL server DB testing slash forward slash the database dot bk that you uploaded to the cloud after it was locally downloaded. And then after we run it, everything works perfectly well. And then you can use another stored procedure called ms.dbo.rds underbar task underbar status. Then you can check the status of your database. In this case, Percentage complete is 100% restored. And now you can browse the database just like you would browse the database using the regular on premises. Take a look at the file we have here called the client, right click it, select all, and the data shows up here. Basically, that is how you migrate from on premises to the on cloud